If you've just started singing, here are 3 beginner mistakes that you do not want to make. And so I'm going to share them in this video. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to Singing Simply. My name is Ivan and I'm a voice teacher based in Australia, and I'm on a mission to show you all that anyone can learn to sing and it doesn't need to be hard. So today's episode is a bit of an interesting one because it kind of really resonates with me, because personally I started as an absolute beginner. I always tell some of my clients the reason why I'm good at helping people and teaching people how to sing is not necessarily how good I am at the moment, but rather how bad I was. I made so many mistakes. I made so many errors. I went through all the problems that you might be going through at the moment. So for today, I wanted to quickly share 3 mistakes you do not want to make. I've made them and I don't want you to make them at all, because making mistakes costs you time. And so I want to share them with you today so you don't have to fall and walk through the same path as me. Okay, so mistake number 1. Okay, so I love YouTube. I love all the content that's put out there. There's so many amazing creators who are giving you entertainment, education, advice, all those kind of things, right? There's so much good information out there on YouTube. So here's the thing, right? If you've been using YouTube to learn and you've been spending some time on it, studying, looking at different tutorials, how to sing high notes, how to even start singing, the problem with that though is you do not get any feedback. And what I mean by this, right, is sometimes you might be asked to make a certain sound. You might be asked to work on a specific scale. And as you're doing this, right, the problem with that is you never know if you're doing it right. And I fell into this exact same mistake because when I first started singing, I spent so much time on YouTube. I was just learning. I wanted to learn everything, right? Searched up videos, how to sing the high notes, how to sing with a better tone. And I got amazing advice, but I didn't interpret it right. And so this is a problem, right? If you're not seeing results from working on YouTube, from learning from all these different sources, you need to get feedback. Because what happened to me, I ended up building wrong habits. The biggest thing that I developed was tongue tension. I ended up pulling my tongue really, really far back and having a sound like this. And I was trying to sing songs, fly me to the moon. And it just sounded funny, right? Because obviously I was doing something funky. Now the advice was well-intentioned. Keep your larynx settled. Keep your larynx settled. Keep your larynx a bit more dopey. Find that dopey sound. But what that ended up doing for me is that I ended up building the wrong kinds of tension. And so whenever you're receiving advice, whenever you're getting any new techniques, test it out. By all means, test it out. But if you find that you're not quite improving, you need to go and get feedback. So that's mistake number 1. Okay, so mistake number 2. This is actually quite linked to the first one, because once again, I love YouTube. I love what you can do on YouTube. But one of the things, especially for beginners, is taking a shotgun approach to singing. And what I mean by that is you must have gone on YouTube, looked up how to warm up your voice or how do I sing high, and you get these kind of workout videos. They will just show you all these different kind of scales and exercises. And they'll get you to do all these different sounds, mums, nays, all those different things, right? And whilst they can be helpful, I think the more important thing is to understand why you are doing it. Because if you're just doing a bit of everything, you might not be doing anything at all. And so that's very, very important, because if you're spending a bit of time on this, doing this exercise, then doing this exercise, doing this exercise, without any purpose or understanding why you're doing it, sometimes you end up getting nowhere. And so I think a better approach is to understand more about your voice first. What exactly do you need help with? Are you struggling with pitch? Are you struggling with your tone? Are you struggling with hitting the high notes? Because once you know that, then you want to start to pick and choose exercises. And this is where a teacher can be very helpful. They'll listen to your voice. They'll just try to understand what exactly is happening with your voice. And then you get the kind of prescribed exercises or maybe the things to actually do. But if you're on your own and you're just kind of doing this shotgun approach, you might see results, but you're not seeing the best results you can. If this is you, if you just kind of spray and pray, going for all these different exercises and trying to get your voice better, take it to the next step. See if you can find a way. Maybe it's by getting feedback. Maybe it's just reaching out to a voice teacher and asking for a trial lesson. Get them to assess your voice first. See what's going on. Okay, so mistake number 3. And this one is very, very important, especially for all of you starting off, because the voice is really not something you want to mess with. You don't really want to kind of go too hard and fatigue and really kind of injure yourself, because it is such an important part of your communication. And so one of the things you want to be mindful of is do not cram your practices, because doing a 5-hour practice session, especially when you're first starting off, it can actually fatigue and irritate your voice, right? I have seen a lot of people that come in and they tell me, oh, hey, I practiced so much this week. I practiced 5 hours, but on a Friday night. And so I want to see if I can kind of spin that kind of little perspective a bit, because you don't want to be practicing such long extended durations. Even a concert doesn't go that long. And so what you want to do, see if you can kind of break them up into little small bite-sized chunks. I'd much rather you go 15, 30 minutes every single day consistently. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. See if you can break it out like that and practice that way. Now, of course, if you feel like you are killing it, 15 to 30 minutes is so easy, then you can add another session on. But avoid the temptation to practice 5 hours for a bit of catch up, right? Because that 5 hours practice might not be as effective as you think it is. And that's it for today, right? So I wanted to really share 3 beginner mistakes that I've gone through. I've made those mistakes. So number 1, if you're just watching content and absorbing it and you're not seeing results, you need to get feedback. That's mistake number 1, not getting enough feedback. Mistake number 2, having a shotgun approach to your exercises or to your workout. You want to see if you can start tailoring it for your voice. What exactly do you need to work on? And then mistake number 3, trying to cram everything or all your practice into 1 or 2 days a week. See if you can split them out. That's going to do much better for your psyche and also for your voice, because we work much better when we are consistent. And so those are the 3 mistakes that I went through personally, and I want to share them with you because you don't have to go through them. You don't have to make those same mistakes as I did. And so what I want you to do, comment below which mistakes have you made, or maybe you're making at the moment, and let me know how you're going to change it. Apart from that, I will see you all for our next episode.